Some wounds aren't loud, they're silent. Mine came on a quiet Tuesday, sunlight streaming in, when I realized I hadn't heard my daughter Sarah's voice in 6 months. Not a call, not a text, just silence, a silence that screamed loss. I almost lost her, not to tragedy but to something more insidious, pride. We build walls thinking they protect us, but sometimes they just keep out the people we love. My wall was stubbornness. I was right, she was wrong, or so I told myself. But strength isn't isolation. It's having the courage to tear down those walls and choose love. Our silence started as a crack, a silly argument neither of us can even remember. Days became weeks, the crack a chasm. We waited for the other to reach out, both too proud to admit we missed each other. Mother and daughter, now strangers, separated by pride. On that quiet afternoon, I realized the true price of being right, an empty room, and the ache of almost losing the one person I love most. I remember when Sarah was little, her hand disappearing in mine, our laughter echoing through burnt cookies and secret jokes. There's a photo on my mantle, her giggling, toothless, me holding her tight. As she grew, life pulled her away, as it should. But arguments crept in, about her choices, her friends. I thought I was guiding her. She felt judged. The distance grew slowly. Missed calls, cancelled visits, conversations reduced to weather and work. Our relationship faded, like that old photograph, color draining, laughter replaced by silence. I'd stare at that picture, aching for the connection we'd lost. We lived in the same city, but we were worlds apart. Watching other mothers and daughters became torture, a reminder of what I'd lost. One Sunday, I saw a mother braid her daughter's hair in the park, and grief overwhelmed me. It wasn't just the silence I mourned, but the million tiny moments that make a relationship. My pride had cost me my daughter. I'd won the argument, but lost her heart. All the words I wanted to say were trapped inside. That day, I finally saw my part in our distance. I realized I couldn't wait for her to build a bridge. I had to take the first step. I knew I had to do something. Change came quietly as I sat on that park bench, regret heavy in my chest. What if I just said I was sorry? What if I reached out first? My pride protested, but love whispered louder. What matters more, being right or being her mother? I let go of my need to win and chose her instead. That evening, I sat at the desk where Sarah once did homework, pulled out special stationery, and picked up a pen. The silence pressed in, but I began to write. I didn't have a plan, just a desperate need to reconnect. It was time to try. My dearest Sarah, I began. I didn't justify or blame. I wrote from the heart, about the silence, the memories, the photograph on the mantel. I admitted my pride, my regret, and apologized for the days we'd lost. Each word stripped away my armor. I was vulnerable, but honest. I told her I loved her and asked only for forgiveness. Folding the letter, my hands shook. Sealing it felt final, a piece of my soul sent out with no guarantee. I could have texted, but a letter is different. It says, "You are worth this." I sealed it with hope and fear. I mailed it, not knowing what would come next. All I could do was wait. After mailing the letter, a new silence began, one filled with hope and dread. Every phone ring, every notification made my heart race. Days crawled by. My pride whispered doubts, but I reminded myself, I wrote out of love, not for a result. I imagined every scenario. Maybe she'd ignore it, maybe she'd laugh, maybe she'd feel nothing. The waiting was agony, but I had to accept vulnerability. 10 days later, my phone buzzed, a text. "Can we talk?" Not forgiveness, not love, just a door cracked open, and that was everything. We met at a small cafe, neutral ground. She looked older, sadder, her pain mirroring mine. The first minutes were awkward, silence thick between us. Then she spoke. She'd read my letter many times. She'd cried. She'd been lonely too. Her pride had kept her away, just like mine. As we talked, the wall between us began to crumble. It wasn't a magical fix, but it was honest. We listened, really listened. Forgiveness, I learned, is a practice, not a moment. That letter was a small step, but it changed everything. If there's a silence in your life, don't wait. Pride writes lonely stories. Take the first, terrifying step. Sometimes an open door is all the hope you need.